Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be looking at a mid-TUSK game. This is Armel, one of the greats of the mid lane. I think he's rank 11, and he pops off this match. Honestly, I'm a big fan of mid-TUSK. I think it's a hero that can get really active on the map, and it plays really well with these team comps that can play fast, right? It also plays very well with the unit heroes, which I think is generally the two meta styles we're seeing. The reason why I really like it with unit heroes is mid-TUSK can get active very early on. Right? It's a very early mid laner. It's a hero that likes to go for kills. And so it tries to take the safe lane tower. I don't necessarily think he'll do that this game. I mean, he has a primal beast he could play with, but it's pretty hard to gank Morphling. Either way. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the Game Leap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the Game Leap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So let's quickly look at the items. So in terms of his item build, goes Phase 1, Falcon Blade, nothing crazy, into the Blink, so actually prioritizing an early Blink, which I'm a little bit skeptical about. Sometimes I feel like the hero can lack damage, but I will say that his teammates are very high damage heroes, right? Very, there's a lot of follow-up. If you stun someone, Primal Beast can kill them. And then from there, after that, you see a Deso, so really delaying the BKB against a team comp that has quite a bit of magic damage, but delays the BKB, picks up BKB after, into Silver Edge, funny enough, and then finally from there, a Linken's to finish it off. I don't really know why he bought a Linken's this game. Maybe it's for the axe from the Morphling. I don't really know. Hard to say, because it's not like the greatest. It's not really the greatest Linken's game. It's probably mostly just for the Morphling, I would imagine. But either way, let's get into it. Let's talk about mid-TUSK and why this is a pretty popular and very powerful build. Alright, so in terms of starting items, it's very standard. Nothing crazy here. He's laning against Storm, which actually can be a bit of a hard lane. The early laning's pretty easy. You're going to shard the range creep basically every single time. In any of these hard matchups against a ranged hero, it's a very good idea to shard the range creep for obvious reasons. You don't want to overcommit. From there, as a melee hero, I just want to give you guys a quick tip. Anytime you're playing a melee hero mid like TUSK or Pango or Ember, you're going to primarily be pulling a ton of aggro, right? A lot of creep aggro. Not constantly, but after you secure the range creep, it's often a very good idea to pull creep aggro, and a lot. As we'll see the hit nuke here. Hit nuke on the range creep is the best way to secure it. So he hit nukes, and he's going to chill, right? You never want to man up to a Storm Spirit. You're going to lose that trade the majority of the time. He snowball dodges the Remnant. I don't know if it's even that good, but that's a Chad play right there. That's crazy. The snowball to dodge a Remnant. I don't even think the trade was really that favorable. But yeah, he's beating up on this Storm quite a bit. You can see, with a good shard, you can trap people in the creep wave, and that's what you want to be looking to do. You want to trap people near, like basically inside of the creep wave to the best of your ability. So the Storm walks up for the range creep here, and he's like, yep, I can trap you in 2 range creeps. If the Storm hits the TUSK, he's going to start tanking 2 range creeps. And that's brutal, as we see here, as the Storm gets completely annihilated in that trade. So that was a really great shard. And you can do that in any of these matchups, right? Against Lina, Lesh, SF, whatever it is. If they extend a little bit too far, you don't even have to try to click them. You can just shard them and then back off. And, well, try to get them to hit you to draw aggro. And then just chill. From there, he gets his water rune, max the shards, very easy, as he snowballs to once again dodge a Remnant. I guess it's good. It does make some sense. And yeah, he's really beating up on the Storm, getting pretty aggressive with the trades, as he'll pick up a wand next. Very simple skill build, item build, as well as the lane progresses. You're going to want to pick up a stick most games because you just need it, right? You need the sustain, you spam a lot of spells, your hero has a very bad mana pool, but the stick, it's going to help you out with that, right? It's going to help you a lot. And yeah, the great thing about mid-TUSK is you have 2 spells to secure range creeps, or creeps in general, right? You just have, it's very straightforward. You have 2 spells to secure creeps. So even if you're in a hard lane, you don't have to almost ever overextend. You can pull aggro on the melee creeps and always have a spell. Obviously, snowballing the range creep is a risk because you're obviously committing your body in, but the shards are just a great ability to make the lane not too hard. Also here, we're going to see a really nice outplay, and I just want to talk about how he actually executes this kill, because what's going to happen here is he's going to look to farm the wave, so he stays up, right? He stays up to push out the wave, but he takes a big risk here because Storm is respawning, which means Storm can use Fountain Regen to basically go on you without running out of mana very quickly. And what he does well here is he doesn't panic, right? Because if he snowballs too early, he's going to put himself out of position, and Storm won't have to tank the tower, and the Storm is going to easily kill him. so he has to hold the snowball in order to kill him. But what he does well as well is he punches. He doesn't snowball. Because if he snowballs, there's once again a good chance Storm can just stay on top of him and use a remnant or just in general chase him. So he does a great job of just using the punch, which burns out the Storm's mana, bottle charges in between the auto attacks to make sure he doesn't die to that last auto, then shards the Storm under the tower, which enables the Tiny to come rotate in, gets his bottle refilled, drops the snowball, gets the kill, dodges the impale, and yes, he handed off his bottle, as I said, on the rotation. I mean, that is a play and a half. Just the discipline to not snowball in a dangerous situation like that is insane. One thing to note as well is if you happen to have excess mana, which he does here, there's a bounty rune and he has 1 bottle charge and full mana. You can farm large camps. Don't be afraid to punch him. The snowball and the punch is about the same cooldown. So, if you use one, you can use the other to farm and you'll get them up at about the same time. As we're going to see him look for a rotation on Visage. It's a pretty straightforward rotation, even though it seems like they have a ward, so they're not going to find it. Counter gank comes out. Nice. Yeah, this is an interesting mechanic I actually want to quickly tell you guys about. I learned it recently. Basically, if you snowball on Nyx, it gets rid of the carapace. So even though it won't do the damage, like the snowball won't do damage, right? You can see it did literally 0 damage, but it gets rid of the carapace. So then you can punch, even if he's carapace, the punch won't, you won't take damage on the punch. And so it just gets a nice rotation there. And Tusk is very tanky in the early game. You're very fast, you're very tanky, and you're very hard to bring down as you have kind of 2 defensive abilities, obviously the main one being Snowball. From there, he's going to shove out the mid lane. The shards are obviously very, very good at that. So the main gameplay of Tusk is shove mid. Oh, why did he take that bounty rune on Tiny? That's so sad. As he's going to farm this camp. I don't know exactly why he's farming this camp. I guess he shoved out mid and there was no mid wave. And now he just wants to get the power rune, right? So he's going to hope for a bottom rune. You cross your fingers. Oh, regen rune. He'll clear out the mid wave. And then he'll probably clear the next wave and then look to gank. And this is basically what you do every time. You clear the mid wave for efficiency. Okay, it gets zoned out a bit by Silencer. What can you do? And then you're going to look to move, right? He's like pinging out this Morphling. And he's just griefing the Morphling here. He knows he's not going to kill him. There's no chance. Even maybe overcommitting a bit here. But he's just kind of messing with them. He has a regen rune. He knows any trade he takes here is going to be generally favorable for delaying the game. And also one thing to keep in mind is shards are pretty low cooldown at 14. Not super low, but pretty low cooldown. So you can kind of chip people down with them as well. If you can hit a 2-3-man shard casually in the early game, even if it doesn't trap anyone in, that can be okay, as this is pretty deep. Oh wow, it's actually going to work. As he gets the shard, look at that repositioning. Hits the Storm Spirit with the shards and traps in the Silencer. And yeah, this is the tempo that Tusk plays. He has 0 cooldowns, right? The hero has very, very low cooldowns. It can just play mad active. And by the way, it clears waves very effectively too. As we see here, Snowball plus shards doesn't one-shot the wave. And it won't one-shot the wave until you either get the Spell Amp neutral item, which is like best case scenario if you get the Fairy Trinket, you really want to take that. Or if you get your level 15 Snowball damage talent, which I think most mid-Tusks do over the health talent. But yeah, very, very simple gameplay. Shove out the mid lane with your nukes, as we'll see here, if it's safe, of course. If you commit Snowball aggressively, that's a big risk. But he feels safe here. He's going to do that. Pop his invis and look for a movement. I think he's hunting the Morphling here. Yeah, he's going to try to catch him off guard. 1 decay plus, I think you just take the Silencer here, yeah. All right, this Silencer is really on the move, as he'll probably shard here. Oh, really? He's actually holding it. Okay, let's Lina get in position. Easy kill. Takes him out. And as I said, the main advantage of this hero is it's just the low cooldowns, right? They're not like 0. You know what I mean? You have to be careful because in team fights, what people will do wrong is they'll overcommit when their spells are on cooldown. But because Snowball's 15 and Shards is 14 and Punch is 20, it's relatively long for the early game. It's not like, Dragon Slave, which is what, 9 or 8 or something at max? 9? Oh, it's just 9 at all levels. So you get what I'm saying, right? You do have to kite out a little bit most of the time. Typically, you're not just going to auto-attack people to death early on. You're going to cast your spells and kite out. But he kills that Silencer mid, and as the enemy goes on them, all of a sudden the punch is back up, drops the shards, drops the punch, and kills Storm from half HP. And that's typically about the magic area, the magic number, about half. Right? When the enemy is about half HP, Tusk can typically one-shot them, obviously unless they have like Hooded Defiance or something like that. So one cool feature about Tusk as well, if you do decide to rush the Blink Dagger, is to blink out of Snowball. Snowball lasts way longer than 3 seconds, which is obviously the threshold to blink, right? When you get canceled, when your blink gets canceled, it goes on cooldown for 3 seconds. So for now, he'll be able to Snowball and blink out. right? Once you get that blink, for the rest of the game, he can do that. So he'll drop the snowball, and as he comes out, the Nyx definitely should have stayed on top of the Storm Remnant. Then the Tusk probably would have died. So a bit of a misplay from the Tusk, but I'm sorry, from the Nyx. But it is what it is. He's able to blink out. He's chilling. Storm guesses the wrong direction. Does Storm chase him? I thought Storm was going to try to continue to chase him. But yeah, he baits them up the high ground there. And that was a risk. He lived on like 1 HP, so obviously you have to be a bit careful about just running up hills blind. But with 1800 HP and a magic wand, often you can tank ganks and definitely have the potential to survive. As a big thing about this hero as well, one of the upsides is the control you provide. Right? You just have very, very consistent control throughout the game when you have a mid Tusk. You can pick a lot of damage heroes like this the safelane Lina. This is a safelane Lina. The safelane Lina has no problem just ripping into the Morphling here because of all the control from the punch into the snowball, and even the tag team slow is very notable as well, right? Very, very notable. And he gets very lucky this game. He is able to get the Fairy's Trinket, and I just want to show you what I mean by one-shotting the waves. It's pretty straightforward, but yeah, usually with no Fairy's Trinket, all the melee creeps will live on like 1 health, and it's really annoying because you can miss some last hits. You have to stand there and click it. It's like it's so inconvenient and such a waste of time. It's quite bad. As we're going to see him run bottom here and clear the wave. And you can clear the waves very fast in between fights, as we'll see him kind of linger around the spot wave, drop the shards, nuke it out, and then look to connect with his team. And this is what you can do, right? You can scale very well on Tusk, because now he's actually top net worth is. I don't think he'll go for a solo kill here. Yeah, he definitely can, but he can one-shot the wave and blink out. That's a nice thing about rushing the blink, I will say. You can one-shot the wave with a Fairy's Trinket and then blink out, which does allow you to clear deep waves like this and connect with your team after really shoving the waves into the enemy, which provides a lot of information and a huge advantage. Here in this fight, I'm really surprised he's actually not running to his courier to get the Deso, because he does have that. And man, when you get Deso, Tusk becomes a different hero. You go from like doing about 2/3 to a half of most heroes' HP to just one-shotting every support in the game. Like straight up one-shotting every support, as we actually see a nice snowball here. Onto the Nyx, as I said, that prevents the Carapace. The snowball cancels it out. It's a very hard counter. I think Nyx is quite bad against Tusk, actually, at every stage of the game in multiple roles. But is he going to try to punch Visage here? It's kind of a risk. Yeah, against Storm, you don't know how much mana Storm has, so he doesn't want to go for it. A nice advantage of mid Tusk as well is with the help of Tag Team and Deso, you're one of the best Roshan heroes in the game, as you'll see here. I mean, with the help of the Flesh Golem from Undying and the Lina pumping out damage as well, the Roshan, it stands no chance. So they instantly kill Roshan. Very, very nice as he continues to clear waves. Did he take the health talent? No. He took snowball damage. So this will allow you to continue one-shotting waves. Eventually, the Fairy's Trinket actually isn't enough, and you'll stop one-shotting the waves. So usually you just want to take the snowball talent, so you can one-shot the waves, you can clear creep camps faster. It's just too important to be able to be fast. As I really don't like the fact that he commits the snowball so aggressively all the time, but I guess he felt safe, right? He must feel safe. Otherwise, he wouldn't make that play. But from here, okay, we're going to see a toss-up. I usually don't want to punch the person in the middle of the fight, because if you go a Deso build, you're obviously very susceptible to die. You have no BKB. It's pretty straightforward. So you have to be very, very careful about that, right? Very, very careful. So typically as the fight breaks out, as I said, you don't want to do that, but he'll go in 1100 crit onto the Nyx and just, insta kills him. And that's typically what you do at this point in the game. The blink cooldown is about the same cooldown as your punch and your snowball as well, right? Blink cooldown is 15, snowball at max is 15, punch is 15. You see where you're going with this? Everything lines up. And yeah, he's going to continue to run in here, but now he's going to kite out. Right? He can kite out and just wait for the snowball and the punch to come back up, and then drop either half HP of a core or one-shot a support. And that's the goal. You're looking to take out a support and then kill it, and then kill a core. Like for instance, this Visage is dead. Honestly, he can kill this Storm. Unfortunately, his things are getting canceled, as he's going to go for more here. I think he'll punch this guy. Yeah, YOLO. And he gets the kill. And that's the thing. You take control of the early game, you play tempo, you use your high damage nukes and your crazy control to gank side lanes, push out the mid wave, so on and so on. And he's also cleared a lot of creeps this game. He's farmed quite a lot. 160 CS in minute 24 is quite high for Tusk, as we'll even see him run into the jungle here. This guy has no problem farming. Like, no problem farming. As we'll see him use the snowball actually to hit multiple camps at the same time. Same thing with the shard to be very efficient. Even punching creep camps. I think he's working to get to his level 18 here. It's obviously a big deal. Increases the crit damage and brings it all the way to a 10-second cooldown, which definitely can matter. So, yeah. He looks for it, but okay, they go for a play anyway. His best target is definitely Silencer, as you don't really want the Visage. I guess he has a BKB, so he could just go on the Visage. Okay, works out. Has so much follow-up, just takes him out. And the control is there as well. I think he... No, he actually took tag team damage. Interesting. A lot of people take the Walrus Punch stun, which is good because it allows you to auto-attack people while they're in the air. It's really nice. And it's just 0.5 seconds extra of the stun. And also, this level 10 talent, the stun duration, works particularly well with the level 25 talent, which is 10% chance Walrus Punch. Every time you auto-attack, you have a 12% chance to use your ultimate on them instead. And it's very good with the Walrus Punch stun duration. You can nearly chain stun people with enough attack speed. It's quite comical. And eventually, when you've built up enough damage items, you have... Because even BKB gives you a ton of damage, right? Like, a ton of damage. BKB is a very high damage item on Tusk. He's also got a Vambrace, a little bit more damage there, but look. Avoids the Carapace damage with the Snowball. Drops the tag team. Skadoosh. Oh, it's crazy because he's level 20, right? Actually, was he level 20 even before punching the Nyx there? Oh, no, he even wasn't level 20 yet. So his damage gets even higher because when you hit level 20, you can take Walrus Punch crit, which basically guarantees at this point of the game that you one-shot supports, assuming they're not that farmed, right? And that's, I mean, it's just so valuable. On a 10-second cooldown, I guess more like 15 because you kind of want the tag team to punch them as well. But even without tag team, you essentially can one-shot supports, and that's so valuable because it's low committal as well. It's not like a high cooldown ability. It's not like you're playing, you know, Enigma, and if you want to solo kill a support in a team fight, you have to black hole them. It's not the case at all, right? Even something like Tiny, he has to be a bit more committal with his abilities. But Tusk can just kind of, I don't know, he just does his thing. He just takes out a kill and then gets out. Even picking up, he's going for the Quickening Charm. They find a good jump here. I think his best target is the Nyx at this point of the game. Seems like that's who he's going to be going for. And the reason why is Nyx is just such an annoying hero mid to late game. It's such a strong hero because it has so many stuns late game. So it looks like he's just kind of made that his target. Also with Global being on cooldown, killing silencers like relatively pointless. So yeah, I really like his decision. Honestly, he could have punched Storm, but I guess he felt like it would be too risky, but insta-kills him, then goes onto the silencer, messes up a little bit here, but it doesn't matter. And yeah, you can just see how strong this hero is, how much it scales this. You can pop the Shadow Blade. They could kill someone here. They can try on this morph. Okay, they're going to go for Storm. If he gets the blink off, he's dead. Yep, follow up with the Snowball. And all you have to get good at is clicking the Snowball on them when they're in the air. It does take a little bit of practice, but like when you click the punch, you can click them. You have to move your cursor up, as you see there, and then you can drop the Snowball and get the chain stun. It's very important because the Walrus Punch stun duration is very short, especially without the talent, so you have to be quick. All right, so I'm sorry. I'll show you guys a new clip in a second, but this just never gets old. It just never gets old. There's something about one-shotting someone in Dota. The fact that they just have no hope, right? 2,150 crit. This guy only has 1,200 health. Give him a break. And as we progress into the late game, wow, he even uses Enchanted Quiver. That's interesting. I feel like there's kind of better neutral items. I don't feel like you really need 225 magic damage, but to be fair, it's a 4-second cooldown, and considering your hero can stay on top of targets very easily, you will be able to use this bonus 225 damage quite consistently as. Once again, for the millionth time, I'm going to show you a one-shot, but... but as he gets jumped, he's just so tanky as well. He's got this Lincolns, he's got this BKB, so they go on him here, right? They try to set up with the Nyx, but it's just not even close, right? And not even close to dying. He's way, way too tanky. And yeah, I don't know, they just don't have the damage. So at level 25, you can see he's auto-attacking this morph. Oh no, he took Snowball cooldown. Interesting. Snowball cooldown. You know what? I can see it. The reason why I can see it is you don't have a real attack speed item here. Silver Edge is your best attack speed item, only at 35. So I can see why he takes Snowball cooldown. It kind of makes sense because this ability is insanely good. It saves people, it buys time for your blink, it initiates, it counters Nyx Assassin in this game. It really does, it does make sense. Even here, he'll be able to drop it and buy time. Oh, is this a losing fight? Oh, shoot. What happened to their Lina? How did the Lina get bursted? Surely that's why they lost the fight, right? She got stunned, and then she had no Fury Soul. So she just died. She couldn't man up to the morph at all. The Satanic just got nullified by the Scotty. Just really, honestly, it's just bad positioning from Lina. What even was she doing there? Why is she there? Oh. She's trying to kill the Visage Bird. I mean, it's a little unlucky. She got hit by a random Nyx stun that wasn't even intended for her, but damn, I was like, how does that fight so bad? You insta-kill both of the supports? You really kill the Storm there? You kind of have to wonder how we... Like, if you're Tusk, you're like, what? How do we lose that? I killed both the supports. and like nearly the Storm. But it is what it is. Shit happens. Oh my gosh, they almost lose. Oh, wow, this game's crazy. They go from like 14k ahead to nearly getting thrown. Oh my gosh. I feel like they even almost could have committed on it as he one-shots the silencer. Wow, that's nuts. They almost threw this game. This game looked like a stomp from the pregame, but wow, it's far from that. I still push down the mid lane now. Okay. Oh wow, the tiny dies back as he finds DD. One shot. Oh, okay. Onto the morphs. This is not a great situation. He's gonna click here. Oh, great Lina stun, and they actually take him out. All right. So Roshan's not up, unfortunately. And so push forward. Has to be careful. Oh, he has BKB up, so he'll take a bit of a chance with the Sil Reg here, just hunting someone as he cuts the wave. So feels pretty comfortable, obviously. And here is probably his biggest play of the game. I mean, this is just such a heads-up play. He goes to the top side of the map because his team's dead here, actually, and they're going to try to end the game. No buyback on either of the supports, but he hits the Storm, is able to actually just kill him from full using the Havoc Hammer to finish the job. Didn't even need the shards. And that's such a massive kill because you go from potentially losing the game here because you would have to take a 5-on-4. That doesn't feel great, but you get this pick off and, whoa, what are they doing? Why are they chasing into no vision? Oh, he just barely lives. That's going to be a chain stun onto the morph. That's a dieback. Uh-oh. And this game ends. A nice chase with the snowball. He just chain stuns the morph there. And all of a sudden, this game goes from nearly done throwing to Raven unfortunately dying here. And that's going to be the end of the game. No buyback on the morph. I mean, they can stall with Storm, but that's the best they're going to do. And yeah, all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you can try this hero because it's so much fun. Like, this hero is a blast with this mid build. It's at every stage of the game, it's fun. Early game, it's fun. Mid game, it's fun. It's just a fun, fast hero. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.